Hey there and welcome. Today, we're diving into a 500-year-old idea that honestly feels like it was written for us right now. It's for a world where we're drowning in information but often kind of stuck when it comes to action. This is a philosophy that's going to challenge how you even think about the word knowledge. You know this feeling, right? We all do. You've read the self-help books, you've watched the tutorials, you know you should be exercising or eating healthier, or maybe just being a bit more patient with people. But when the moment of truth arrives, crickets. You just don't do it. It's this super frustrating gap between our brain and our body. But what if the problem isn't our willpower? What if the real issue is how we define knowing in the first place? So most of us see the world like this. Step 1, you learn a thing. Step 2, you go and do the thing. Simple. But what if I told you a philosopher from the 16th century came up with a much more radical, much more challenging idea? He said that knowledge and action are not two separate steps. In fact, if you haven't done it, you don't actually know it at all. Okay, to really wrap our heads around this radical idea, we first have to dig into the problem he was trying to solve. And believe me, this isn't some new 21st century frustration. This exact problem was the starting point for a really famous philosophical chat centuries ago. So let's go back in time. There's this student, his name is Su Ai, and he's really struggling. He's studying with one of the great thinkers of his time, but he just can't get past this basic contradiction he sees everywhere. The very same one that drives us crazy today. In Su Ai's argument, it makes perfect sense. He basically says, look around. People know they should be filial, respectful and good to their parents, but so often they just aren't. So for him, the conclusion is obvious. It's just common sense. If you can have one without the other, then knowing and doing must be two totally separate things. But his teacher, this incredible Neo-Confucian philosopher named Wang Yangming, he had a completely different take on it. He looked at that same gap, that same knowing-doing gap, and he didn't see proof of separation. He saw proof that we were misunderstanding what knowledge even is. And here it is. This is his radical response. He tells his student, flat out, to know but not to act is to not yet know. Think about that. He's arguing that if someone truly knew what it meant to be respectful to their parents, they would already be respectful. The action isn't something that comes after knowledge. The action is the proof of knowledge. Without it, your so-called knowledge is just empty words. Now, I know what you might be thinking. This sounds pretty abstract, doesn't it? How can knowing and acting possibly be the exact same thing? Well, Wang Yangming was a great teacher. He didn't just state this as a fact. He gave these brilliant, super intuitive examples to help us actually feel the truth of what he was saying. So here's the crucial shift we have to make. For Wang, true knowledge isn't a bunch of facts you've memorized. It's not something you can just recite from a book. No, true knowledge is a deep, immediate experience, and it's totally inseparable from your reaction to it. Let me show you what he meant. Wang uses this incredibly simple but powerful example, seeing a beautiful color. Now think about it. When you see a color you love, do you first see it, then take a moment to analyze it, and then make a conscious decision to like it? No, of course not. The seeing and the liking happen at the exact same time. They're a single event. The knowledge, which is seeing the color, and the action, which is liking it, are one. And he gives us another one, just to drive it home. Imagine you smell something really, really bad. You don't smell it, then pull up a file in your brain that says this is a bad smell, and then decide to be disgusted. No way. The smelling and the recoiling, that feeling of ugh, they are the same thing. The knowledge of the smell is the action of disliking. And this all leads to his most powerful example, I think. You can read 1,000 books about what it's like to get a burn. You can know all the biology, all the medical details. But do you truly, really know pain until you've actually been burned? Of course not. For Wang, the real knowledge of pain is the feeling of pain. Knowing is experiencing. They are one. Okay, so on an intuitive level, this makes a lot of sense, right? Liking a color, hating a smell, I get it. But this brings us right back to that original question from Su Ai. If they are one and the same, why do we so often feel like they're separate? Why do we know we should go to the gym, but still end up on the couch binge-watching a show? Well, Wang Yangming had a diagnosis for this. He called it CU, which translates to something like private or selfish desires. And this is all that internal noise, our lazy impulses, our distractions, our craving for a quick dopamine hit, all the little rationalizations we tell ourselves. He said these desires act like a wedge, and they artificially sever that natural, beautiful unity between what we know and what we do. The knowledge of being a good son or daughter gets broken by the simple, selfish desire to just watch TV instead. And when that natural link is broken, it leads to two kinds of flawed people. On one side, you've got the empty thinker. This is the person who lives in their head. They've read all the books, they have all the theories, but they never actually do anything. Their knowledge, Wang says, is just a shadow. It's not real. Then, on the other side, you have the blind doer. This person just acts on impulse, without any thought, without any reflection. Their action is just random, meaningless motion. Both of them have failed because they've tried to separate what is naturally inseparable. So, if this separation is an illness, what's the cure? See, for Wang, the whole point of this philosophy wasn't just to sound clever. It was meant to be practical. Think of it like a form of mental medicine, designed to heal this split and bring back that powerful natural unity between what we know and what we do. So how do they work together in a healthy way? Well, in this unified view, knowledge is the starting point. It's the purpose of our action. It's what gives our actions meaning and direction. And at the same time, action is what makes our knowledge real. It's the substance, the completion of knowing. They aren't step one and step two. They are two sides of the very same coin, totally dependent on each other. The goal, then, isn't to choose. You don't have to be just a thinker or just a doer. The goal is to be both, at the same time. It's about polishing your mind, clearing away all those private desires, so that the natural link between understanding something and acting on it can be as quick and as automatic as liking a beautiful color or hating a bad smell. And that brings us to a final, really provocative question to leave you with. Because this isn't just some old philosophy. It's a personal challenge. It's a way to take inventory of your own life. If you want to know what you truly know, don't look at your bookshelf. Don't look at your diplomas. Look at your actions. Look at what you actually do, day in and day out. Because according to Wang Yangming, that, and only that, is the real measure.